Hey everybody, welcome today for the next iteration of REISmartTalk. I got a really good friend of mine here with me today, David Olds. We met a couple years ago at an event, and we've met at a couple other events as well. And David has been an investor for well over a decade now, has done hundreds of deals, and we're here to talk about a need that he saw inside the industry for easy REI closings. And essentially, I'm going to give it to you, David. Give me a little information, kind of a backstory of why this came to fruition. You know, as an investor, we're always looking for creating solutions for people. And obviously, you've done hundreds of deals and noticed that, hey, there's a big gaping hole here where maybe it was something that you had a deal on the line and you were having issues, or maybe friends or something along those lines. I don't know, David, you tell me a little more. How did easy REI closings come about?
Yeah, I've been an investor for, 23, 24 years now, some ridiculous amount of time. But I became a full-time wholesaler in 2009 when I moved to Chattanooga. And I was like a lot of people, right? I tell people I was half broke. I didn't have enough money to be considered broke. And I was in hustle mode, right? Dude, I couldn't even afford someone like you. I was handwriting yellow letters and postcards and photocopying them on this printer that I had. But I was in incredible bootstrap mode, right? Because we just had to do something. I had a wife, 2 boys, 3 fat dogs. I had to generate some money. And you know, it was interesting because we worked really hard and we were too stupid to quit. We did, our business got off the ground and we started doing well. But one of the mistakes that I made early on, and this was something that I had coaches, mentors, and partners trying to tell me, like, you got to get some help. We got to get, hire a VA to do some marketing, bring some people in, and I just wouldn't do that. I really, and this was probably one of the biggest mistakes that I've made, I just wanted to do everything myself, right? Adam, you've heard this, right? Nobody's as good as me. Nobody's as smart as me. Nobody cares. Nobody's going to work as hard as me, all these things, right? And I wore that like control freak as a badge of honor. And that's great. Like, I was really good at wholesaling. We actually did 1,647 wholesale deals before we transitioned out into this business. But one of the things that stunted my growth in the very beginning was not having people to help me. And the reality is, everybody who's listening to this, everybody who runs an investment company, whether you're wholesaling or fixing and flipping or whatever you're doing, you're probably amazing at one thing, right? There's a part of the business that we're all great at, whether it's marketing, acquisitions, or dispositions, but you're not good at everything. Because we're all entrepreneurs and we're in such that hustle mode and we're grinding it out, like we think we have to do everything ourselves. And that was the biggest mistake that I made over and over and over again, probably for 5 or 6 years until I realized it. And I just reached a ceiling. There was only so many deals that I could do in a month, which was 3 to 5. And I'm pretty good, but 3 to 5 is really the max. And I was working my butt off to do that many. And finally, I just realized if I wanted to do more, I had to focus on the things that I was good at and bring some people in around me to help with some basic stuff, right? I had to get a property manager to handle my properties. I had to bring in somebody that could do some marketing and some posts, right? Because me spending my time doing Facebook posts is not the best use of my day. And then bringing in a transaction coordinator because our deals were stacking up and they just weren't closing fast enough. So that was where I really discovered transaction coordination. And I brought in an amazing woman who came in. Now she's my COO and runs all of my companies. But the shift was almost immediate. I remember I was in my office and I was, I pick up my phone and I'm going through it and I'm looking and all this stuff. And then I'm like, what is this deposit for $28,000? And I walked into Heather's office. I'm like, hey, what is this in our business account? What's this $28,000? She's like, oh, dummy, that's that deal from 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, oh my God, it was amazing. Like, I didn't do any of the title work. I didn't track down death certificates. I didn't have to round up the cats, like herding the cats for the closing. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. Yeah. She did all of that for me. And my business started growing and just going up and to the right because I was focused on doing the parts of the business, 1, that I was good at, and 2, that I enjoyed. The things that when I put my feet on the ground in the morning and jumped out of bed, like, I was excited. I didn't have to be drowned by paperwork and all of that nonsense. So it was really the first place I realized that, transaction coordination is important. And it was really the secret sauce that really helped our company blow up.
Awesome. That's great stuff. So you're talking about when you want to build a team, you have to put the right people around you. Yeah. So you ended up finding this gal. Did you know her for long, or was it something that...
No, I put out an Indeed ad and she came in.
And so you brought her on and she helped streamline a lot of that stuff. Were you seeing like cash conversion cycles coming in a lot quicker? And then you started
100%.
And I think you and I kind of talked about this last time of, hey, why am I doing the $20 an hour job or a $100 an hour job when I could be doing the $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 an hour job?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, definitely the cash conversion cycle sped up because here's what happened. If you're trying to juggle all of the balls, I only have so much time with each ball, right? So I'm creating listings, I'm working on my marketing, I'm training my team, I'm taking calls, I'm doing owner things, right? And then also I'm trying to deal with title company and answer their emails, and because they only work 9 to 5, right? So I got to do those things in that
fit it in that box.
time. So yeah, 100%. Once I installed somebody and this was their full-time job, now that really it's about 25% of your time. Like my time now is just somebody else was doing it. One, she loves doing that stuff. Like that's what she's built for. She came from a background at Amazon, and she was actually the second person I hired. The first one didn't work out. The second one, she was amazing. But like she came from automations and business development. Like she's an incredible implementer. I got very, very lucky and somebody who puts up with my nonsense. But yeah, for sure, deals started closing faster because somebody was pushing and keeping pressure on that deal all the way to closing.
So
right? It wasn't something that I was doing in between.
So with her taking over that aspect of your business, how did that help you guys grow? And were you able to then focus more on what you're, like you said earlier, what I'm best at, right?
Yes.
Like we're good at marketing, we're good at knowing each market, finding out what works inside of there. And that allowed you to then see more, like were you like at about 3 to 5 deals per month? Did that increase to a little higher at that point?
Oh yeah, we got up to where we were doing anywhere from 15 to 23 deals in a month was the most we ever did. Yeah, for sure, because now I could focus on training my team. And here was the weird thing. Once you bring in one person and you realize like how much it frees up your life, you're like, oh, what else can I do this for in my business? Until, honestly, you kind of replace yourself right out of the business. And that's a little disheartening at the very beginning, too. But no, for sure, business absolutely grew. The difference that is in today's real estate world is when I started in 2002, you had to hire all these people in-house. I had to bring in a marketing person. I had to bring in the bookkeeper and the accountant and the property manager. Like you had to hire all these people and have them on payroll. But now, because of this, right? Because of internet, right? I don't know, right? Whatever you want to call it. The World Wide Web. Everything is, you can have the absolute best people in the world come in and be literally your partner and make sure that your company grows. I can get the best direct mail company in the world. I don't have to bring somebody in and interview them and do ads and hope they're going to take my job and hope they didn't lie to me in the interview, right? I can literally just sign up with you and I've got the very best in my business tomorrow. And you can do that now with property management and transaction coordination and accountants and bookkeepers. So this is what we're seeing with the really smart, high volume investors, the people that we're seeing a lot of growth for in their business that are our clients, is they really latch onto this sooner than I did. God, I wish I'd have done it earlier. But they realize, oh, I don't have to do everything myself. That's crazy talk, right? Why am I doing this? Let me bring in the very best, and I can bring them in, and it's almost, I don't like the word fractional, but like I can bring them in and only pay them for the results that they're giving me, right, for these closings.
Perfect, man. Let's say I'm me, right? Seasoned investor. For people that don't know, we have in our family portfolio about 20 properties that are here in the St. Louis area. Had a bunch that were in Memphis, sold all that stuff off. It was at its kind of peak because when we first got into it, it was 2004, and we were buying these square boxes on a slab for like $50K, $75K in Memphis. So tell me what it's like for a seasoned investor, and then kind of give me an example what it's like for somebody who's, you know, newer to the game, to where they're very new in their journey. Maybe they're doing 4 to 5 deals per year, not like your 4 to 5 deals per month. You know, are you guys for everybody, or is it just for the seasoned veterans?
Yeah, so we have clients that are doing 40 deals a month, and I've got clients that are doing 2 deals a year. Initially, when we started, we were built on a subscription model, and we were built for people who ran companies like mine, like very high-speed wholesalers. That was who we were built out for. But we realized, like, if the business is a pyramid, that's just the very, very top. But we had people that were continuously coming, and they're like, hey, I need your help. I don't want to deal with attorneys. I don't want to deal with title companies. I've got a full-time job. I can't do this from 9 to 5. You know, real estate is my weekend and evening kind of gig. And we had to find a way to, how can we help these people without, you know, putting them on these monthly subscriptions. So yeah, we definitely have a product now where it costs them a little bit more, right? Because they can pay per the deal, but they're not tied into that big monthly subscription. The biggest reason that I wanted to do that, Adam, is here's what I tell people. Real estate has given me a life that honestly I don't deserve most times. I get to be on awesome podcasts, and I get to go around the country, right, and see you guys and speak on stages. And you know, I do a little bit of private consulting, but also I've gone on vacations to some really cool places, Dubai and China and all over Europe, and I've gone and done all these things. But all of that is because of real estate, right? So I think back and I think if somebody's just getting started and they're on their first deal, and that deal for some reason doesn't close, because 50% of all deals don't close. That's
Wow.
a nationwide average. So if this person really wanted to do real estate and this deal doesn't close because there were title issues and they got some BS title company that told them, oh, you just can't close this, you got to go do whatever. And that deal died, and maybe they just think, oh, real estate sucks, it was a scam, everybody lied to me, all those podcasts were nonsense, and they go back to their 9-to-5 job. Will they miss out on all the cool things that I got to do, right? So I want everybody to have that life. So, when people ask, if it's my first deal, should I use you? Yeah, because your likelihood's going to go up. And when I say that, First American Title Insurance Company, 50% is the average of contracts. So literally every contract, it's a flip of the coin whether or not it's going to close. We have clients that close up to 78%.
Wow,
So your likelihood of
almost a 30%
closing
increase.
Yeah, your likelihood of closing goes through the roof. So that's what I want. I want your deal to close, right? And we're basically free. You can take our fee and add it to your buyer. We'll show you how to do that. And it doesn't cost you anything, but now for nothing, right? One, you're not going to have to do all this nonsense. Two, your likelihood of closing is going to go through the roof. So yeah, I want that for people. I want them to close their deals. I want them to build a real estate business. There's no shortage of sellers to talk to. There's no shortage of buyers. Get up in a plane, look down. There's a lot of houses out there, hundreds of millions of people. And this is our job as investors, right? This is why we learn what we learn. We're here to help people. There are people that are losing sleep tonight over those properties. Let's go out and help them, but let's give the, highest likelihood of these deals closing, because that's what we promise these sellers.
Nice. And now you're saying that 50% of deals typically fall through, and that's for somebody who's basically doing it for themselves, right? Somebody who's not having veterans, seasoned people who understand the right questions. What are some of the hardest title work papers? Is it probate? Is it pre-foreclosures? Which ones give people the biggest struggles? And how does it speedline? How does your business help them speed track that to where they are taking that pressure and that weight off of their plate? And you guys know how to go in, have those conversations with those title companies. And so tell me about how that process kind of sounds like.
Yeah, we've done over 8,000. This year we'll end up right around 9,000 files that we've handled. So for us, it's like the Matrix. We can see the problems coming in very slow motion.
Is that lifetime 9,000, or is that
in the last
per year?
3 years?
Huh?
No, that's in the last 3 years.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, we're very adept at solving these problems. People ask sometimes yeah, but can you do my kind of deal? I'm like, yeah, we got you. Honestly, my team would, there's 25 of them out there. They would love to get something new and different, but it just doesn't happen very often. But there's 3 real big things. Right now, it's pre-foreclosure. That's a problem. Probate, dead people. Dead people is just like a whole litany of issues that come up, and then fraud. Those are the 3 biggest things. And I can give you a little case study on all of them. We had maybe 2 months ago, one of our clients, she sent a deal in. Easy, drag and drop, put it in our portal. We start looking at it. So Abby gets the file, and what happens basically is the file comes to our coordinator. We're going to assign it to the right title company in that market, that area that handles this type of deal, because not every title company will do every deal. But anyways, she jumps on the phone and let's just say, hey, Mrs. Smith, I'm working with Adam on your deal over here at 123 Main Street. And she starts talking to this seller. And, we've got about a 4-page, we call it an intake form, a seller form, seller doc, whatever. It's just all the big questions, because we're so proactive. We want to ask all the questions on day one so that while you're selling your deal, we can solve all of those, right? This is how we close quicker and get more of these deals to monetize. But anyways, so Abby's asking these questions, and she's like, hey, who's on title? Where do you want to close? Blah, 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 all these different things. And hey, you're not in foreclosure, are you? And she goes, actually, I am. Whoa. We're like, okay. She says, okay, well, where are you at in the process? And the woman goes, oh, it's going to the foreclosure auction in 3 days, 72 hours.
Wow.
Our client had no idea, zero
Back
idea.
against
she
the wall.
didn't ask. Yeah. So immediately Abby stops. She grabbed another coordinator, because 72 hours. So they spent over 20 hours on the phone. They got that deal, the foreclosure sale postponed, because they knew what to say. They knew who to call. And we're not a foreclosure rescue company, but we could do this. So we got the trustee on the phone. We showed the contract. We showed him a proof of funds. And we got that foreclosure, the auction, extended for 3 months. So this girl was able to sell this deal and made $68,000.
Wow.
Because that's the power of having somebody who understands what to do. Honestly, if that was me, I'd have been like, oh, well, that deal sucks. I'm not going to be able to close that one. I would have just moved on.
So basically, you guys came in and you just saved her from losing out on that essentially $70,000 wholesale deal. to be able to keep her business afloat, keep it running. You know,
Buy more
she
marketing.
was back against the wall 72 hours, and that sucker's gone.
Yeah, and that girl would have had no idea that it even sold it at foreclosure because maybe she faxed or emailed this contract over to a title company. You know what a title company does? They put it in their system, seller, buyer, address, closing date, which was probably 45 days away. And then they're not going to look at it again until 3 weeks before when they run the search. So that thing would have been sold at the auction and nobody would have realized it until she started sending, you know, probably buyers over there to look at it. So that's one. Probate, man, all the time. We've had as many as like 22 heirs that all have to sign. And again, herding cats on crack, getting them all to closing at the same time. And again, if I had to spend that much time, I'd be like, dang, this is a $15,000 deal. Do I want to spend all this time doing it? No, I wouldn't be out going and getting my next deal. But this is what a coordinator does because this is the only thing they do. And they do it every single day. It's like you going out there and printing 10,000 postcards to go. It's like just the thing you do every single day. This is what our team does. And then fraud. Fraud is so rampant right now. We did a podcast episode. We do one called In the Trenches with Your TC. This girl, she was selling this property to our client. And the story was that her dad was in prison, but she had a power of attorney and she had been selling off his houses and cars for money for him. And, you know, something didn't seem right. The signatures weren't quite right. And our TC really started investigating it. And we got with the underwriters. And turns out that this girl, and she was not the daughter, but her and her boyfriend actually framed this guy for murder. This is a real story. You could look it up. For drugs. Like they said that this guy sold the drug. I don't know exactly all that happened, but this guy was put in jail and she fraudulently created a power of attorney, had her friend notarize it. She'd already sold off 2 houses and a bunch of cars. So we got it.
So these are just his, like, in his portfolio, and these people are
She's selling them
off.
Yeah. So we got with the underwriters. They flagged all of these guys' properties. And the underwriters actually turned it over to, I can't remember what state it was, but the like TBI, right? Whatever it is, the state police. It got investigated. The guy's actually getting out of jail. It's been a couple of months. The girl's been arrested. But dude, she sold off 2 houses to investors, right? With title insurance. So you think, oh, no problem, I have title insurance. But imagine this. If I had gone and gotten, you know, Matthew lent me the money with my private lender, like that title insurance only covers the cost of the house. All that money I borrowed to fix that house is gone. Right now, I would have been on the hook for that. And this client was going to fix and rehab this house. So he's so thankful that we stopped this and we caught it. Those houses are all getting
properties. Is he able to?
They're all getting taken back. Like that guy's going to get those properties back.
Okay.
He's going to go to the court can unwind those deeds and take. So those people are screwed.
Yeah.
Right. And that girl's going to go to jail. She's not paying restitution to anybody. So this is why it's so important to have somebody that really understands these deals, looking at them, because you're like, oh, well, a title company knows that. Well, a title company sold 2 of these properties with title insurance. Like they're on the hook in this whole deal too. But because there's somebody that does this thousands of times, was looking at these deals, you know, they were able to stop this and protect our client is the first thing. It's fantastic that the guy got out of jail and all that. And I'm happy that we had some little part in that. But yeah, we want to protect our clients because again, imagine, let's say that guy borrowed $50,000, $60,000 from his private lender. Like you're going to have to pay that back.
Yeah.
And if the house got snatched out from under you,
yeah,
you got your
lose out
purchase
on
price
that
back.
equity, that house, that potential rental opportunities,
and your private lender relationship.
Yeah.
So fraud, we catch fraud all the time, and it's a lot of direct fraud. Like Memphis is bad for it with false deeds out there. But then a lot of times it's just one heir is like, yeah, I'm the only heir, and they think they're going to sell the property and take all the money. And then we're like, well, man, we need a death certificate and an obituary. Hey, there says there's 4 other children. Oh, they're all dead. Like literally, these are stories that we hear. They're all dead. And then it's like, well, we can't find that they passed away in the people search, you know, because we do some little looking on the back. Oh, well, they're all in Europe. Like it's crazy, the stories that we hear.
They just so happen to all be in the same bus driving off the cliff in Edinburgh.
Yeah. The stuff is crazy. And I ask my coordinators all the time, like, hey, I need some stories. And they're like, nothing's really happening. And then they start dropping these stories in the podcast. I'm like, how do you not lead with this? We had one deal the other day, maybe a month ago. And it was in Western Pennsylvania. It was an Amish buyer. Okay. He doesn't get on the phone. So we're dealing with the agent. Well, it's really close. He's buying a farm. And we're really close to like the closing date. Like we're like a week out and all of a sudden this guy decides, I kid you not, he wants the prize winning donkey as part of the sale. The donkey. And this is what we're going back and forth between the wholesaler, the seller, and the agent negotiating to throw in this donkey. The donkey. to make sure that this donkey is part of the sale. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So it's crazy. Like the stuff that happens every single day is the wildest stuff. And Adam, here's you've done deals, people that have done deals.
Yep.
Here's a question I ask all the time, because people will be like, well, when I get a complicated one, I'll call you. I say, okay, cool. How many deals have you done? Oh, 20, 30 deals. Awesome. Think of the last deal that made you want to dig your eyeballs out with a fork. Cool. Got that in your brain? Awesome. Did you know it was going to be a shit show the day you put that under contract?
Nope.
No. I get calls like this every day from people who want us to come work with them. And dude, they're like, man, I've spent 30 hours, 40 hours, on this property. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why don't you just hire us and buy or pay for it? You could have got 3 more deals, right? And now you're stuck in quicksand trying to close this deal that you don't know how to do, because I know that, because I didn't know how to close these deals when I first started.
Wow, those are some incredible stories, David.
I wish I had made them all up, but there's so many of them.
It sounds, the thing is, I've heard so many stories myself that for everybody watching this might sound like, oh, it is completely made up. I can tell you for certain. I have heard some outlandish stories, and I have been a part of some outlandish stories where it's like, this cannot be real. But it does happen every single day, and that's why you need to implement David's company, ezREI Closing. They're going to be able to help you, like he said, capture more of those deals, let you take that off your plate, focus more on what you're best at, being able to give you the opportunity to find more deals, see an uptick like he did. David, I know we're running out a little bit of time today. We probably have a few other things that we could talk about at another date. I just want to say, everybody out there, if you are struggling where you're having deals fall through, have a call with David. David, did your team, did they give free complimentary calls, just to talk about, hey, what you guys can do for them? What is it like? Give me a quick little synopsis of what that is.
Yeah, you can go to our site. I'm sure you've got a link here we can post. But yeah, just jump on there, pick a time that's good for you. It's not even a sales team. They just want to come on and, let's talk about what's going on in your business. We're kind of ending 2025 here. But whenever you're watching this, what did you do last year in your business? What are your goals? What do you want to do next year, right? And how, if you could get 25 to 30% of your time back, how much more business could you do? Right? How many more deals? Because that's what we all want, right? We're all trying to grow. We may not want to do 40 deals a month, but everybody wants to get to that kind of financial freedom where we've got that income coming in and it's a little bit more predictable. And the way you do that is more leads, right? So we're going to use REI print mail. But once we get those leads and once we lock them up, how do we make sure more of these deals get over the finish line? How do we make sure more of them close?
Beautiful stuff, David. Beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, if you want to, we'll have a link at the bottom. Hop on, call with one of David's team members. He got 25 of them that are ready to help you guys. Or go to ezREIclosings.com, check out their site, click on their links, book a free call, have that conversation with them. And David, thanks again for being on today.
Thanks,
I appreciate your time, and we will definitely have to talk a little bit more. I do have some other things I definitely want to talk to you about. Just a little teaser for everybody at the end of this. David dropped on me today that they are JV dispoing with people. So if you are having trouble finding a buyer, like you said, then getting it across the table, David's got your back, and that's what it's about, is working with teams that are the best teams in the industry. And that's what we're all bringing on here to REI Smart Talk, is these are the best in the industry, and this is why you guys need to be working with David. So whenever somebody's fraudulently trying to sell off your hot properties, they got your back. They got you covered, guys. So David, thanks again for all the time today. Appreciate all your help with all of the stuff, and we're definitely going to keep telling everybody about you guys, pushing them in your guys' direction of going, hey, you struggling, you need help getting stuff across the line, we got you. We got a guy, and we got a team for you.
Awesome. Appreciate it. We're sending all of our people over to you because we know that direct mail, it's coming back, it's alive, the response rates are great, and they're leads that actually produce.
Well, I appreciate that, David. Well, thank you for your time again today, and I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk soon on the next iteration.
Love it.
All right. Thanks, buddy.